Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm David, your friendly neighborhood developer of Starship Horizons, and here we are for episode 2. With this episode, we're going to continue some of the things we started the first time around, which is talk about some questions from players out there, bring up some old topics, and even talk about some new things. So let's get started. First and foremost, let's talk about the alpha. Everyone's been asking, well, okay, I loved your video, love the fact that the alpha's coming really soon, but what does really soon mean? When is it going to happen? Do we know? Well, yellow alert, folks, we know. We can tell you here in the video when we're going to be releasing. Now, in February, there's a great event up in northern DC, or northern Virginia, the DC area, if you will, Washington, DC, which is called MagFest, the Music and Gaming Festival. That takes place February 18th through the 21st. We are actually going to be running 4 bridges there, possibly even 5, for the entire weekend, Thursday to Sunday. With that, we're using that weekend as our final alpha test. Since we're going to be running so many people through it, it's a great experience for us to make sure we've got everything where we want it to get ready. And we'll be releasing the alpha right after that event. We're going to take that Monday or Tuesday immediately following just to make sure there's anything we want to clean up, and we'll release right after that. So it's coming that quickly, folks. We can't wait to get it in your hands. I know a lot of you have been really excited. Some of you have played it at conventions. You're going to be very surprised at how much has changed from the last time you played it, even if you played it a few months ago. And if you live within a couple of hours of the Washington, D.C. area, we can't tell you enough. You need to come out and check out this event, MagFest. It's a great, great event. It's music of all kinds, gaming of all kinds, tabletop, board gaming, simulations, things like that. And again, we're running for the whole weekend, and if you want to come check out what we're doing, come on by. We'd love to see you there. So, okay, Dave, thanks for the update. Okay, great. We know when the alpha's coming. That's awesome. But the other question is, well, I registered for the alpha, but I haven't heard anything. Do I need to, do I need to be worried? No, actually you don't. We haven't notified anybody yet. But we can tell you when you're going to get notified. And as we're recording this, it's the 25th of January. We're going to be letting everybody know by the end of the month. So, and we'll announce, of course, that we've sent out all the invitations to the alpha experience. So once we make that announcement, and if you get that email, you're in the clear, folks. Yeah, I went there. It's corny, but I don't care. So with that in mind, let's continue. So again, the alpha's coming out right after MagFest, February 18th to the 21st. Is a great event. Come on by. And we're going to let everybody know by the end of January here if you're in. With that being said, we want to take the next segment and talk about, again, hardware. Last time on the video, we showed this hands-free running on a Raspberry Pi. This happens to be a Raspberry Pi 2, very inexpensive little computing device. Once you get the card and the case and other things, you're looking at about the $60, $70 range all in with the various components, including obviously the Pi itself. Today, we're actually running on a Windows 10 compute stick, again hooked up to this display. Now the Windows 10 compute sticks are average about this size here. These happen to be both Android versions, which are a little less inexpensive and similar in power to the Raspberry Pis. But for the one we're running here is $80, and it has full 10-point touch, quad-core processor, decent video processor for what we're doing here. And here we are running the flight station, and it runs amazingly well. So what we want to kind of do with each of these videos is introduce a new piece of hardware and a new way to run a console. In this case, if you wanted to use this to be able to use it as an interactive station, it's great for that. But let's say you wanted to be able to set up a giant display on the side like we talked about before for say a crew roster. Let's see, I'll pick a crew roster here. So we can see, oh good, nobody's dead yet. That's always a good thing. But we can check on individual crew members, and you could have that off to the side for an additional play experience if you wanted to. You can check on your different decks. Looks like we have one person that's injured there, and so on and so forth. So again, pretty neat that for $80 all in, it's a tiny little stick that runs a pretty competent Windows 10 experience and runs this very well. With that being said, the last topic we want to cover for this video is talking about playability of the game, like how many people can actually play. A lot of people have asked, how many people do I need to invite over if I get into the alpha to run a bridge? Well, the alpha experience will incorporate the traditional 6 crew members. So your captain, flight, tactical, sciences, communications, and of course engineering, which is the one we're adding for the alpha. With that being said, that's our traditional, capital ship, if you will, that you might experience. But Horizons is not hard coded in a particular way to require a certain number of crew. It's really up to the designer of the world, in our case, the Horizons universe, and the design that you come up with in the community for your own modifications. In the alpha, we'll be also releasing a single-person craft experience or fighter. So one person could take a joystick and a throttle, have their display in front of them, but again, with the Horizons design, you could have a couple of tablets down underneath, one for, say, your comms listing, another for your weapons loadout, another for radar, and in conjunction with your main display, and create yourself your own little cockpit. And that's the kind of things, and the reason we show you the different hardware is there's pretty much nothing you can't do with this in terms of creating a cockpit experience, whether it's a single-person craft, a two-person craft, like, say, a shuttle or a frigate, or so on and so forth. To give you an example, one of the stations we'll be releasing after Alpha is the medical station, so that you could actually have a 7-person craft. So if you have a larger party and people are over and you maybe have somebody left out of a traditional 6-person craft, you can have a medical officer, because, for a perfect example, we just looked at the crew there and we had a few injuries. Well, your medical officer can treat that. But maybe your captain wasn't kind of, doing the right thing, and they kind of flew right through a nebula and forgot to raise the shields, and now most of your crew has radiation poisoning. Well, your medical officer will be able to take care of that as well. So, again, we want the game engine to do whatever it's told to do based on how we design our world. We want to give you some insight on what we're doing, and there you have it. But we also want to use that opportunity to give you ideas on how you can create your experiences, because we keep saying it, but we really are looking forward to what you, the community, will be doing with Starship Horizons to create your worlds. So good luck on that. We'll see you real soon for the alpha, and that'll be it for today. See you around the galaxy.